Hello everyone. So today we are here as a team to present about the data structures and applications mini project. This video would be presented by myself Brinda, Bhavani, Bhagyashri, Anpurneshwari, Bharatji and Bharatyam. So the topic for our mini project was the snake game. So let's start with the introduction. The snake game is a classic arcade game that has been popular for decades. It was originally created in the 1970s and has since been implemented on various platforms, including the mobile phones and web browsers. The game's simplicity and addictive nature make it an ideal candidate for a programming project. The objective of this project is to implement the snake game using the C programming language. This will involve creating a graphical user interface, implementing the game's logic, and the handler's user input. Additionally, the project aims to provide a detailed explanation of the game's mechanism and the implementation of its various features. The snake game is a simple yet addictive game where the player controls a snake that moves around the screen, eating food and growing longer. The objective is to avoid colliding with the walls of the snake's own body. The game's mechanisms are straightforward, but implementing them in a code can be challenging due to the need to handle user input, update the game state, and handle collisions. The project will be developed using the SDL library for graphics and using input handling. SDL is a cross-platform developed library that provides a simple interface for creating graphical application. It is widely used for the game development industry and well suited for implementing the snake game.
The applications are in the real of the classic video games, the Snake Game holds the special place, captivating players with its simple and addictive gameplay. Implementing a snake game in C programming language offers a practical exercise in game development and programming logic. To create a snake game mini project in C, you would need to structure the program into logical components such as initializing the game board, handling user input for controlling the snake's movement, updating the snake position, generating food items, detecting collision, and managing game start. A simplified implementation might begin by defining structures for representing the snake body segments. The game board and the coordinates of a food items function would be created to initialize the game board, handle user input, update the snake position, generating food items, and check for collision. The main game loop would orchestrate these functions to continually update the game state and display the game board until the game is over. Ultimately, by designing and implementing the game mini project in C, programmers can gain valuable experiences in areas such as data structure, algorithm, input-output handling, and game development fundamentals. Moreover, complementing such as project offers a tangible accomplishment and springboard for further exploration into the world of game programming and software development.
Hello everyone, I am Bhagyashri. Now I am going to explain working algorithm of the snake game code. Let's look at how a program to run the whole game might look. Initialize the game state. Set the initial position and size of the snake. Generate the initial position of the food. Set the initial score to 0. Handles user input. Check for user input, example arrow keys or WASD keys to control the snake's movement. Update the snake's direction based on the user input. Update the game state. Move the snake one step in its current direction. Check if the snake collides with the walls or its own body. If the snake collides with the walls or its own body, end the game. If the snake collides with the food, increase its size and generate a new food item. Update the score based on the snake's size and the number of food items eaten. Check for collisions. Check if the snake's head collides with the walls or its own body. If the snake's head collides with the walls or its own body, end the game. Generate new food. Generate a new food item at a random position on the screen. Ensure that the new food item does not overlap with the snake's body. Repeat step 2 and 5. Continue the handle user input. Update the game state, check for collision, and generate new food items until the snake game ends.
Hi guys, I am here to explain about the code which is used in the development of the snake game. These are the lines of code. For the beginning, header files. The code includes the necessary header files for standard input and output operations. stdio.h the header file is which is used to input and output operations in the code. For memory allocation, stdlib.h header file is used. For console input, conio.h header file is used, and for Windows API function, windows.h header file is used. In this code, number of global variables are declared. Height and width set the dimensions of the game board, and x and y represents the current position of the snake, and fruit x and fruit y represents the position of the fruit. Game over tracks the game state. Score stores the player's score, and flag is used to determine the direction of the snake. Set of functions are declared in this code. The setup function initializes the game variables. X and Y are the set of the center of the game board. Fruit X and fruit Y are the set of random positions within the game board. In this fruit snap at position 0, 0, it's re-randomizes until it is not. Draw functions. The draw function clears the console screen and draws the game board. Walls are represented by ash, and snake's head is represented by 0. Fruit is represented by star, and empty spaces are represented by white space. Input functions. The input functions checks for keyboard input. If a key is pressed, it sets the flag variable based on the present key. A for left and S for down, D for right and W for up, and X to quit the game. Logical functions. The logical function governs the game's logic. It moves the snake according to the current direction flag. If the snake collides with the walls, the game ends. Game over is set number 1. If the snake eats the fruit, a new fruit snaps at a random position and the player's score increases by 10. Main function. The main function calls the setup to initialize the game. Enters a loop where it represents calls down input and logic until game over becomes true.
Hi, hello, myself Bharatyam. Today's topic is Snake Game Feature Scope. The snake name is classic arcade game that has been popular for decades. It is simple yet addictive game and involves a controlling a snake that moves around the screen, eating food and growing longer. The object is avoid cooling with the walls and snake's own body. Project aims to implement the snake games using the C programming language. That game will be developed using a SDL library for graphics and input handling. The project will be included a details explanation of the game's machines and implementing a detailed explanation of the game. Library of the graphics input handling provides a project will be detailed explanation in game machines, implementation, game logic and creation of one possible future enhancement of the new game modes will snake. Currently game has been single player mode which plays control a single snake. Adding a multiple would allow multiple players to compete against each logical over the internet. This could add a new level of competition and enhancement to the game. Another possible feature enhancement add a trials to snake name. In this mode, the player will be limited amount of time to each as such a food as possible. Achieve the highest score. This will be add a new level of challenge to game. Will appeal the player who enjoys speed running competition for high score. Additionally, the snake game could enhance the implementation different types of food that provide different effects. Some food items will make sure the snake move faster or slower, while other could make sure snake grow larger and shorter. Finally, the snake game will enhancement of adding power ups with the temporarily make snake invulnerable, allowing the passing through walls its own body without draining. Another power will be make sure the snake growing increasing in challenge of controlling with the walls of one body.
Hello everyone, I am Annapurneshwari.
In the conclusion, the Snake game is a classical arcade game that has been popular for decades. This project aimed to implement the game using C programming language, providing a detailed explanation on the game, machines, and the implementation of its various features. The game's simplicity and additive nature made it an ideal candidate for a programming project. This game was a collaborative effort by the group of people, each collaborating their skills and expertise to different aspects of the game's development. We worked together as a team to design the game's graphics, implement the game's logic, and create a user friendly interface. The game's graphics were simple but effective, with a colorful sprites for the snake and the food items. The game's logic was implemented using a straightforward algorithm with a separate functions for initializing the game state, handling user-friendly input, updating the game state, and checking for collisions. The game's user interface was designed to be innovative and easy to use, with a clear instruction how to play the game and visible score counter. The game's controller were responsive and easy to use, allowing players to quickly get the hang on the game and start enjoying it. Overall, the project was success, and we as a team were able to create a fun and engaging version of the game using C programming language. The project provided valuable experience in game development and programming, and the team members gained a new skill and knowledge that will be useful in future projects. Thank you.